Tomorrow marks 20 years since Hurricane Katrina and the levee breach, devastating New Orleans and parts of the Gulf Coast. This is the alert from the National Weather Service released on this day back in 2005. It is a sobering message, warning residents of devastating damage. It forecasted the majority of homes and buildings would suffer damage or be destroyed. It states weeks-long power outages and water shortages would redefine human suffering by modern standards. A chilling forecast that sadly became reality for so very many. And as we reflect on Hurricane Katrina, we're reminded of the efforts to help more than 200,000 displaced New Orleanians who ended up right here in Houston. I recently moderated a University of Houston downtown panel with people who were both in the storm and on the front lines of recovery. 20 years after Katrina, there's still an immense sense of gratitude from New Orleanians, although Houston is now home. There is so much to reflect back on. Dr. Deborah Bordelon and Kiana Lamau, faculty at the University of Houston downtown, saw their communities swallowed up by water after Hurricane Katrina battered and broke the levees.
We were getting ready to come back to New Orleans when we saw on the news that the levees had broke. And then we knew that we were not coming back to New Orleans anytime soon.
As for those who survived, these are the people that we saw at the Superdome and that we saw at the Convention Center.
Making it to the Superdome or the Convention Center, that didn't necessarily mean survival. There were lives lost inside of the Superdome as well as inside of the Convention Center.
Kiana left before the chaos, evacuating to Houston with her young family.
I distinctly remember we were 30 that year, and the amount of money we had in savings was $200. And in that moment, we lost our home, and we also lost our source of income because the entire infrastructure of the city was destroyed.
You made it out! Hello, Brian!
But Houston was the beacon of hope, providing her with housing, work, and childcare for her children, thanks to local leadership.
It was logical for people to come to Houston, and a lot of people were headed this way.
Please report to Section 262.
We built a city at the Astrodome in a matter of days.
I think they're a little overwhelmed right now. We're just happy to get them into the city and be started taken care of.
6,000 Houstonians volunteered to help more than 60,000 people at the Astrodome.
And the people in Houston, they open their heart, they open their arms. The people in Houston are so wonderful.
In all, Houston took in an estimated 200,000 storm survivors.
This is the helping hand that I needed.
Many of whom made Houston their permanent home.
On this other side of Katrina, what matters most are individual lives and people and what we can do for one another.
I witnessed so many of those reunions. I was at the Astrodome when the first buses from New Orleans came there and reported on many of those stories and also gave out many hugs while holding back tears.
I want to echo what she said, what we can do for each other. That's it.
That's it.
That's it. Everything else doesn't matter.
Right, the humane thing.